All right, so these are the pros and cons to my day of the coronavirus in the city. All right, so we'll go with the pros first. Let's stick with the good. So the good things about it. Well, there's like no traffic, pretty much, unless you're going to Costco. Don't go to Costco. Stay way from Costco. Like stay miles away from Costco, and traffic's good. That's all I can say. Like for instance, Vancouver Island, you're going to the island where Langford is, trying to go to Costco, and it's just traffic jams everywhere. Oh, by the way, there was a chemical spill as well, which kind of added to it. So I guess it wasn't just Costco, but rest of everything, amazing. Getting anywhere, like it was just smooth sailing. It was really easy getting around. So that's a pro. Another pro would be, well, there was very little people, very little lineups, mostly. Where the lineups we're going to go into the con. But, yeah, pretty much it was kind of like I went to Lordco. There was nobody there. I got my part, got out. Went to a couple other stores, no lineups, which usually I'm waiting in line for a good 20 minutes. So that was pretty cool. I stayed out of the grocery stores. Figured there's no point going there. I've got seeds and all that. I'm going to be growing a garden instead. I've got a bunch of deer that I took down back in hunting season, so I got a freezer full. So I figure I'll leave the food for the people who actually need it. Yeah, and shit, what else? Oh yeah, there's also the miner's lettuce is coming in. We got lots of wild plants where I live. They're coming in. They're fully great for eating. So that's another pro. It's going to get me out foraging more. I'm going to be going out finding lots of free food. That's a great pro. The other pro is work has slowed down, like almost to a dead halt. I do maintenance for hotels, so of course there is a lot of maintenance I still need to keep up on, but it's not getting any more maintenance because nobody else is there to break anything. So it's good. I'm still employed, but I'm not now overworked, which is a great pro. Another pro is I'm saving a lot of money because most places aren't accepting cash. I only deal with cash. I don't like dealing with debit. So I go to buy something, and it's either I can or can't. It's inconvenient, yes, but so far it's been on things that I don't really need. It's just things I want, so I can live without. I was able to buy ammo with cash. I went to one place to get ammo feed. They turned me down for cash. I had an ultimatum. I could go to the bank and put my money that I had cash into my bank on debit, but like I said, I don't like using debit. It doesn't work mostly where I live, so I use cash. So I went to another feed store, and luckily they took my cash. So that was brilliant. So I've got all the animal feed I need. I'm stocked up, got a little bit of ammo. It's really all I need to buy, and I saved technically $500, which is awesome. It'll go probably towards gas, or till I might start saving more and have a little coronavirus allowance at the end of all this bullshit. Which then when finally the stores do open up and start accepting cash and start selling the things I really want, I'll have some money to actually buy something. So there you are. Those are definitely the pros. Those are really good things about this. What's going on? I think it also is getting people to realize that prepping's a good thing. I think that's also a pro. That's definitely a positive thing about this. It's kind of a good training seminar for us to sort of keep alert and keep, instead of this snowflake attitude we got where it's all like, we don't need farms, and all this other whiny bullshit, when it's like, well, actually, yeah, we kind of do need those things. Thank you very much. Get your head out of your ass. And that's what this is here, to wake us up and get our heads yanked out of our ass so we can actually see what's going on. So that's a great thing, too. Now let's go into the negatives. Negatives causes a lot of panic. People are acting a little weird. There's a lot of selfishness going on. People are buying things they don't need, but it's things they need, yes, but do they need that much of it? Probably not. I mean, one tube of toothpaste lasts me a year. And I brush my teeth regularly. I saw one guy had a shopping cart with like 50 tubes of toothpaste. This is a good one. So I'm trying to go to a vending machine to get my dog some water. And there's this kid fucking pumping quarters into the vending machine and just buying up all the energy drinks. I mean, every single one that was there. And here I am in line along with a little lady and a little kid right behind him. And here he is, just in his own little world, just one drink at a time. And that was bullshit. All the other vending machines are sold out. He probably bought everything from there, but I don't know where the hell he was packing it. It was like he was a GIF on a loop. He just kept pulling one out, and then he'd do this kind of a thing, the fucking thing would disappear. Put more money into the vending machine, pull out another one. I wish I got that on video. It was pretty weird. But that was definitely a con. I think people are hoarding way too much. It's sort of, it's good to prep, but you should be prepped advance. You get your bits in increments and work your way up. You don't just mass hoard buy right at the fucking last minute. Spend your whole paycheck. I don't know. I think that's kind of dumb. What else is bad about this? We got to be like washing hands everywhere. I guess that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's kind of inconvenient. I feel like I got a mum always breathing down my neck again. Wash your hands. That's kind of how I feel. The other negative things that are going on is we got a bunch of tourists on island who are just being complete idiots. They think they've come to a safe haven and they can act a fool and, well, in the eyes of the locals, contaminate everything. So I've got to join in a bleach party, and we're going to go and bleach down the playgrounds after all these grubby little kids have been played on it. And now we have to put tarps and flagging tape on it. It seems a little excessive, I know, but if you want to be safe and sorry, these are the measures sometimes you have to take, and it's definitely a downside. Another downside is BC parks are closed, and recreation is going to definitely... But the biggest downside really is the economy. I mean, this is fucked. It's going to fuck over the economy if this continues. I mean, everything's shut down. There's barely anyone's working at the moment. This is like 1930s depression rate at the moment, and we're in day 5, I think. Day 5 maybe, when everything just went crazy and everybody like put signs up and was just like shutting down everything. It just like went into panic mode. And it's very interesting. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of negatives to that. The elderly and children, of course, are at risk, and anyone who has lung problems and other life-threatening issues. So if you have a compromised immune system, this is going to get you. One of my friends, I won't say any names, but they've got a compromised immune system, and they're actually in quarantine right at the moment because they got a cold, but they don't have the COVID yet, but it's still it's still a scare. So there's definitely a lot of people in quarantine at the moment. I'm just keeping isolated. My girlfriend and I are pretty much just hanging out with just our little niche, and that's it, and not keeping outsiders and not associating with too many friends. We're doing the online chat parties. It's kind of funny. She's doing that, actually. I'm not. I'm more antisocial than she is, so I do my YouTubes and Facebook for social. Otherwise, I'm fucking doing shit on my own or hang out with my girlfriend. So anyways, the downsides, again, we're still on that. Just pretty much just got to be really careful, and it's always in the back of your mind, like, shit, I could catch it, and it's always a worry. So yeah, it's stressful. It's quite stressful. And I mean, I could just not give a fuck and not worry. But if you care about your health, it's kind of hard not to. So anyway, but good news is last 3 days I've been feeling healthier than ever. I thought I had a cold for the last 3 months, and like just mild cold, but I was worried I was going to catch this thing in the last, a few days or whatever. I've just been feeling really good. So hopefully that's a sign that I'm okay at the moment. But anyway, this isn't about me. This is about pros and cons. So yeah, anyway, the I think there's actually, in a way, almost more pros to cons in this. The cons are just the fear at the moment. I mean, there's definitely cases in my province, 100%, definitely cases, but it's still very small, and I don't think there's anyone dying from it. I don't think anyone has died yet. Not even any elderly. I don't think. I could be wrong. There could have been a few deaths, but I don't think there have been. So yeah. But yeah, the main downside is just everything's shut down and puts a hamper on life and as we know it. Life as we know it. I shouldn't say it's. I mean, we can rise above this. There's always online shopping and things like that. We can evolve. We can. I don't think this is necessarily going to crash. Or sorry, I shouldn't say I don't think it's necessarily going to crash the economy. I do think it's going to crash the economy. I don't think it necessarily needs to crash the economy. I think we could find other ways around it. It's just that it seems that people don't really want to do too much work about that. Like, we don't hear anything about cryptocurrencies and other options and things like that. We don't hear about, all we hear about is a handout from the government, and I don't think $5,000 a person is quite going to cut it. And that's not everyone. That's like certain people. I don't even know if that number is right. That's just one number I got when I was reading an article. So anyhow, at least it's an attempt. But I don't think that's a pro, and I don't think that's a con. I just think it's just a Band-Aid, and I don't think it's going to do anything. But I think we as a people need to come together and work together and start trying to help each other. Instead of this fighting over toilet paper, why not go in halfers on a bulk pack and split it outside of the shopping mart? Like, that's an option that we can all do. Those are choices we can make as people, instead of falling to the panic and the fear. We can try and be compassionate and helpful towards each other. I think that's really the best thing, and that's maybe a pro that's going to evolve out of all this as well. Maybe it'll bring us back together, kind of like how, well, for a couple months, 9/11 did to New York. So, anyhow, that's really all I got to say. If you got any to add to pros and cons, do so in the comments. I would love to hear them.